This is Vintage Touch Decor with Soul, where we celebrate timeless charm in modern spaces. Today, we're touring a modern countryside house that blends brick warmth with concrete calm, set against sweeping polder views. If you love elegant textures, natural light, and soulful design, you're in the right place. Please subscribe, like, and share your favorite moment in the comments. As we move through each room, notice how honest materials, handmade brick, smooth concrete, and natural timber create a grounded, serene rhythm. The palette feels rural yet refined, with views framed like living paintings. I'll point out smart details you can borrow for your own home: layering, sight lines, and cozy seating that invite lingering. Whether your style leans shabby chic, farmhouse, or mid-century, there's inspiration here. Soft textiles against robust surfaces, sunlight playing across tactile walls, and furnishings that tell a story. Stay to the end for practical takeaways and shopping cues. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment which room you'd recreate. Your engagement helps our vintage-loving community grow. This home is deliberately positioned to drink in the landscape, not fight it. Instead of turning inward, the architecture stretches toward the polder, allowing the flat horizon and long sky to become part of the interior composition. The absence of visual noise outside makes the brick and concrete read even calmer and more intentional. Living in such a setting changes the mood of the rooms. Mornings are bright and still, afternoons feel slow and golden, and evenings wash the house with lavender blue dusk. The design embraces this rhythm with large glazing, long linear volumes, and simple furnishing that doesn't compete with the view. Nature becomes the artwork. The exterior palette reflects the site: muted, rural, durable. Brick echoes nearby farm buildings, concrete picks up the cool of shaded soil, and timber ties it back to agricultural memory. This harmony avoids trendiness and ensures the house ages into the land rather than appearing as a new interruption. The exterior uses a disciplined pairing: brick for warmth, concrete for clarity. The brick brings heritage and human scale, each unit slightly irregular, full of tone variation and history in its surface. The concrete counters that with calm, continuous planes and a monolithic stillness that reads contemporary and confident. This contrast is not decorative, it is structural storytelling. Brick appears in places of touch and intimacy: entry walls, sheltered terraces, and slow corners. Concrete stretches across the larger volumes, stabilizing the composition visually and thermally. The two materials together feel inevitable, not fashionable. The house could have looked this way 30 years ago or 30 years from now. Sunlight reveals the intelligence of the choice. Brick catches and breaks light, casting miniature shadows and texture that enrich the walls at every hour. Concrete, by contrast, behaves like a quiet screen, bouncing light softly, cooling the palate, and acting as a neutral counterpart to fields, sky, and season. Together they age beautifully and honestly. The entry is intentionally restrained, no drama, no loud gestures. Instead, it quiets you before the house reveals itself. Handmade brick guides your approach, and once the door opens, the first sightline is not a wall but a soft pull toward light and view. The foyer is not a stop, it is a gentle inhale before the interior unfolds. Materials at the entry are tactile and slow, a matte concrete floor underfoot, a woven rug to soften the arrival, a timber bench to pause and unburden. Nothing here shouts design. It is designed to make your breath deepen, your shoulders drop, and your pace soften before you step further in. Natural light is allowed to fall across surfaces without interruption. No glossy finishes reflect or compete, only quiet absorption. This is where the home sets its rhythm, a promise that the rest of the spaces will be equally thoughtful, equally composed, equally respectful of both body and mood. First impressions aren't visual here, they are physiological. The living room is arranged not around a TV but around the land. Furniture placement, window proportions, and ceiling height were all calibrated to make the view the dominant feature, like a moving landscape painting. Instead of decor clutter, restraint allows the eye to rest on distance and daylight. Soft textiles calm the solidity of brick and concrete beneath. Linen sofas, wool throws, and woven baskets absorb sound and soften the acoustics, making the space feel embracing rather than echoing. The architecture provides structure, the textiles provide tenderness, a humane counterbalance that makes modernity livable. The panoramic glazing is not about size but about proportion. Sill height is low, mullions are slender, and corners are pulled back so that the eye slides outward without interruption. This design choice makes the landscape feel like part of the furniture, something you sit with, not merely look at. The kitchen and dining zone sits at the heart of the home, not hidden, not decorative, but truly lived in. Here, concrete counters offer durability while timber cabinetry adds warmth and memory. The long dining table anchors the space socially, encouraging slow meals and longer conversations rather than rushed routines. Natural light floods this area for most of the day, making it a place where tasks feel lighter and gatherings feel generous. Instead of polished surfaces that glare, finishes are matte and forgiving. They age gracefully with scratches, spills, and use the way real homes are meant to. Beauty here is earned by time. The palette remains restrained so food and people become the color. Open shelving, stoneware, linen runners, and woven baskets bring rural humility into a modern envelope. Nothing feels staged, it feels settled. This is a kitchen designed for repetition, ritual, and return, not a showroom but a memory-making room. Up close, the brick reveals its soul: slight irregularities, chipped corners, color shifts, and mortar that is not laser perfect but human in character. These micro-variations are what keep the house from feeling sterile. They catch light differently at every hour and add visual warmth to an otherwise disciplined architecture. The brick is used not just as a skin but as a tactile touchpoint, lining entry walls, terrace edges, low seating plinths, and sheltered recesses where people lean, brush past, or rest. When materials are placed where the hand can feel them, the building communicates more personally and more honestly. With time, weather will improve the brick, not damage it. Rain will soften tone, wind will wear edges, moss may eventually settle in fine creases. This house is designed to age like countryside buildings always have, slowly acquiring memory rather than resisting it. Patina is not a failure here, it is the goal. The concrete in this home is not cold, it is calm. Its smooth surfaces serve as visual rest zones between the richer textures of brick and wood. Because the finish is matte, it diffuses light instead of bouncing it, giving the rooms a grounded, contemplative quality. There is a quiet intelligence in its restraint. Concrete is deployed where solidity matters most, as structural walls, fireplace surrounds, and thick slabs that act as thermal mass. These surfaces keep the interior cool in summer and stable in winter without mechanical spectacle. The material is not decorative here, it performs, and that performance is elegant. Its beauty is in its honesty. The faint casting lines, soft pores, and tonal veining are left visible instead of being polished away. This vulnerability is what keeps the concrete from feeling industrial. It feels truthful, like something made by hand rather than by algorithm. Imperfection becomes intimacy. The bedrooms lean into softness without sacrificing the architectural clarity of the rest of the home. Walls remain simple and matte, allowing textiles to do the emotional lifting: linen duvets, cotton quilts, wool throws, and low woven lighting. Nothing gleams or shouts. It is a room made for the exhale, not the performance. Views are framed lower and more privately here. Instead of dramatic expanses of glass, proportions shift to human scale, just enough landscape to remind you where you are, without making you feel exposed. Privacy is handled not by heavy curtains but by intelligent orientation and depth of reveal. Sound is softened too. Upholstered headboards, rugs, and thick bedding absorb echo and create a quiet envelope. The effect is not hotel luxury but slow living luxury, comfort that doesn't announce itself, but is felt the moment you sit or lie down. It is luxury by atmosphere, not price tag. The bathrooms continue the home's language of quiet restraint. Stone, concrete, and matte fixtures replace glossy ceramic and chrome. The palette is cool and mineral, designed to calm the eye and the nervous system. Instead of visual decoration, the luxury comes from proportion, silence, and light. Natural light is treated like a wellness ingredient. Windows are placed high or sideways to wash the walls with diffused illumination, protecting privacy without sacrificing serenity. Steam rising across stone surfaces adds a living softness, a moving layer that turns the space into a daily retreat rather than a utilitarian room. Fixtures are deliberately understated: black or brushed finishes, deep soaking tubs, linear drains, and wall-mounted sinks to keep the floor visually open. Everything is chosen to disappear into the envelope so that the body, breath, and water become the focus, a spa-like experience achieved through subtraction, not addition. The outdoor terraces act as extensions of the interior rather than separate destinations. Same flooring materials and similar furniture tone make the transition seamless so you don't feel a boundary when stepping outside. These are not viewing decks, they are lived-in rooms under open sky designed for slow use. Because of the polder's quiet horizontal landscape, the terraces capture sky more than scenery. Sunsets feel expansive, with color spilling across brick walls and softening concrete edges. The outdoor air mixes with the interior calm, letting you stay rooted in the architecture while still being held by weather and wind. Furnishing remains minimal but tactile: timber benches, stone tables, outdoor linen cushions, and lanterns for evening glow. The design honors the idea that life does not stop at the wall, it spills outward, gently and without ceremony. Here, modern architecture behaves like an old farmhouse, porous to climate and season. This modern countryside house proves that contemporary design doesn't need to feel cold or urban. With brick for warmth, concrete for calm, and landscape for soul, the home achieves a rare balance. It is both new and timeless, rooted in place yet quietly refined. If today's tour gave you ideas or comfort, I'd love to hear which moment spoke to you most. Please like this video and leave a comment below. If you enjoy homes that feel honest, textured, and deeply human, not just trendy, you are in the right community. Here at Vintage Touch Decor with Soul, we celebrate spaces that age gracefully, tell stories, and make everyday life feel slower and richer. Your engagement keeps this channel alive for others seeking the same inspiration. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for spending this time with me. More soulful house tours, vintage styling ideas, and warm, lived-in interiors are coming soon. Until then, take a moment today to make one corner of your home feel more intentional. Even a small change can shift the way you live. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to support our growing vintage-loving family.